I need you to understand something. For me, I understand that getting my house in order means that I'm not going to be a liability. Getting my house in order isn't just about financials. Most people, when they hear getting your house in order, it's about, hey, make a lot of money, make some good investments, make sure that you're not in a financially dependent place where you have to beg and borrow. God forbid there's a crisis or something goes wrong. And that is one part of getting your house in order. Truth is, one of the bigger parts for me of getting your house in order is getting your shit in order. As men, we are the leaders of our family. As men, we are the leaders of our companies. As men, we are the leaders of our tribe. As men, we lead the people who count on us. And so if you're a guy and you are sick and you're fat and you're out of shape and you simply accept that you will live a life of mediocrity and average and being sick, you become a liability to the people who rely on you. You and I both know that if you have a few pounds to lose, if you are mentally screwed up in terms of you're finding yourself anxious, depressed, you're out of alignment and congruency with the man that you want to be, you are a liability to your family. You're a liability to your kids, to your spouse, to your work, to your company, to your friends, the tribe who look up to you as a role model. And you might think, well, hey, Bedros, I'm not a role model to anyone yet. Yes, you are. I promise you there's someone out there. Maybe even if you live in your mom's fucking basement and you play those video games wearing your Crocs and putting your fat, sweaty feet into those Crocs because those Crocs are designed to be fat foot friendly because they don't even collapse anymore. They just stay open so you can slide your feet in. You don't need laces. Why would you have to bend down and tie your laces? If you're fat, they made Crocs so that you can slide your feet in. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of friends who are pro athletes who wear Crocs. My son and daughter are massively athletic, in great shape, and they wear Crocs. But I'm talking about the people who are wearing Crocs because they don't want to wear shoes that are laced up. They don't want to bend over and actually hold their shoe open and slide their foot in because they don't have the capacity anymore to bend over and tie their shoes. They have to hold their breath when they're tying their shoes. When they sit back up from tying their shoes, their eyes are all bloodshot like they just did some heroin. You should not have to be in that condition for tying your shoes and therefore have to resort to wearing these wide open Crocs and putting your sweaty fat platypus feet in it. But the reason I'm telling you that you're a liability if you're sitting in your mom's basement playing video games wearing those Crocs is because your mom and dad rely on you. You are a role model to them. You are an example to your siblings, maybe to your older brother and sister, maybe to your younger brother and sister. And if you are going to stay unhealthy, I mean physically unhealthy, I mean mentally unhealthy, I mean emotionally weak and dependent and unhealthy, then you are a liability. You're one step closer to going to the hospital. You're one step closer to going to the grave. And is that what you want to be? Right? As men, it is our job, it is our duty, it is our responsibility to become an example, a shining example. The alternative is to be a cautionary tale of the type of man not to be. The type of man who is always broke, who is always dependent on others, the kind of man who can't carry his own weight, the kind of man who has to ask for help from others because he chose to take the easy path in life and therefore now his life has become hard, right? Listen, I stopped taking all of those and I started taking this, the Keuilian Wellness Shot. In fact, I created this because I was sick and tired of every morning taking 11 different supplements like turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, black pepper, vitamin B12, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, right? Think about this. If you want to improve your immune system, if you want to fight off inflammation in your body so that you have better gut health, you have more energy, your joints don't hurt, then you're going to want to take all those supplements. And I was taking it twice a day, every day. And so when we created the Keuilian Wellness Shot, we cut no corners and we spared no expense. And so in this, you've got something that's going to not only help boost your immune system, but also fight off inflammation. Because if you're a high performer and if you want to get more done, if you want to stay more focused, if you want to make sure that you don't get sick as frequently, then you have to care about your immune system and you have to fight off inflammation, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're high performing and you have a stressful work day from time to time, right? And so here's what I want you to do. You're going to click on the link in the description box or go to Keuilian.com and you're going to use the code word Bedros. And when you use my name, Bedros, you'll get 50% off your first subscribe and save bundle. For whatever reason you don't like the Truly Wellness Shot, which I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't, then let us know in your first 30 days. We'll give you a full refund. Part ways as friends. Fair enough? Go check it out. Use the code word Bedros. Get 50% off. Peace. Life has gotten difficult, hasn't it? We knew it had gotten hard over the last decade, and then it accelerated during the pandemic. And the last couple years, interest rates are through the roof. Inflation is eating away at your money. Your pay has not gone up in the equal amounts in terms of inflation and interest rates. Everyone is living paycheck to paycheck out there. The middle class is under attack. You and I must stand in opposition against the opposition. The opposition being big government. They want control, compliance over you in every way. They want to know where you're going. They want to know how you're spending your money. They're taxing your money when you make your money. They're taxing your money when you spend your money. They're taxing your money when you die. Your kids will get less of what you have if you don't put it in a trust. The government will tax the shit that you spent money and got taxed on to buy and acquire. They will tax it again. That is the opposition. And the opposition wants to erode your freedoms. The opposition wants to erode your constitutional rights. The opposition wants you to become a modern day slave to them. And if they can put you in the slave mindset where you're just going to make enough money to barely get by and somehow, for whatever reason, be grateful that at least you have enough food for today, enough water for today, you got a mediocre little hovel that you live in, that you're supposed to be grateful, fuck that shit. There is no way you ought to be grateful for that. There is no way you ought to be happy with that. There's no way you ought to settle for that. And if you want to get your house in order, it starts off with getting your personal house in order. Physically, get fit, get on a training program, a nutrition program, train 5 to 6 days a week, get lean, learn the skills of combat, not so that we can go to war against the opposition. I hope and I pray to God that never happens. But I want you to build the confidence of what a strong man, a capable man, a man who can defend himself has. Because when you know how to box, you know how to roll, you know how to grapple, jujitsu, wrestling, and you have a lean and athletic body that you are proud of when you see yourself in the mirror, that gives you a high level of confidence, because it is not one training session and one nutrition session that gets you lean and jacked. It is eating right and training hard over a long period of time. And it promotes what? Consistency, focus, discipline, delayed gratification. And those 4 traits are exactly what you need to thrive in life. Those 4 traits are the most admirable traits a man can carry. When a man is focused, he is respected. When a man is consistent to his word, to his actions, he is respected. When a man is disciplined, he is respected. When a man can delay gratification and not just look for instant gratification by rubbing one out to the OnlyFans or by screen sucking and losing focus on the work that you're doing, when you could delay gratification and say, I will earn my money. I will earn my dopamine. I will earn my serotonin. Like, that is the kind of man that I respect, and that is getting your house in order. Your physical embodiment shows humanity, the world, that you are focused, consistent, disciplined, and that you will delay gratification. You will have absolute control of your impulses to produce the outcome. And that is the type of man that gets respect by women, that gets respect by other men, and gets respect by his kids, and gets respect by his peers, right? By the people that you lead and manage and who work for you and who work with you. And getting your house in order, my friends, mentally, physically, emotionally, is very important. And so in addition to being physically fit, you must be financially stout. And if you have stopped caring about money because, and that's the point I was trying to make here, someone left a comment on that post I was telling you about, well, it's not all about the money. It's not. It's not. You mean you're okay with your kids just having mediocre experiences? You don't want to have your kids have like really awesome long vacations and fly first class and be able to show them the better parts of the world during the times of the seasons when it's like the ideal time to go to Bali, right? Honestly, I say this with love. It's time to get your house in order. Like, any day now, if things popped off Are you financially in a place to be able to leave home and be able to rebuild somewhere else? Are you physically in a place to be able to fend for your possessions, protect your family if you had to fight your way out of your city? Think about that. And you're like, yeah, but what are the likelihood of those two scenarios? Very slim. The likelihood is very slim of those two scenarios. But you know what's not very slim? Every day when you look into your bank account and you see a surplus of money, and you know that you worked hard, you worked focused, you added value, and you have money there to deploy for your family, for your church, for the cause or charity that you believe in. That is a damn good feeling. And then when you look in the mirror, when you get out of the shower, you're naked and you see your abs, you see your pecs, you see your guns, right? You're like, fuck, man, I'm a walking example of what a healthy physique is. I want to be a shining example to my daughter of what kind of man to look for, both in personality, both in demeanor, how I carry myself, my core values, physically, mentally, emotionally, and also financially. Like, I've conditioned my kids to see that money is a vehicle to freedom. Money is a vehicle to experiences. Money is a vehicle to serving others, right? Same with my son. He's ripped, he's jacked, he knows how to protect himself, and he's just the most humble, stoic young man at 17 years old, just an absolute servant to humanity, a great kid. Wow, God forbid if I die today, I know Chloe and Andrew are gonna be okay. Like, I'm in a position where I know my family is good because I have served as an example to them, both on the financial side and on the physical, mental, emotional side. I want to be a shining example. I want you to be a shining example, my friend. Otherwise, you're a cautionary tale and they will want nothing to do with you.